G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game. Spawning in on the west side of the map, playing as the English, well, it's going to be difficult to pronounce his name, so we're just going to call him our English player today. I could try my best at it, but I'm confident I would butcher it. But on the other side of the map, it's someone you will be familiar with. It is somebody who is considered by many to be not so much a snake, but rather a bit more of a goat. That is, of course, the one, the only, the Viper. And isn't he looking beautiful today on that French? You guys know he loves this matchup, French versus English, a matchup we've been seeing a lot with regard to the Golden League. If you haven't been watching the Golden League, well, you guys have been missing out. Let me tell you that. We've had non-stop action coming up for Golden League. It's going to be continuing this week, and 15 GMT on Saturday and Sunday. So make sure you come along, make sure you say g'day, because I tell you what, we are down to the final 8, and you better know who is going through. Of course, it is going to be this guy right here. It is going to be Viper. He is practicing right now for Golden League. He's studying those build orders, coming up, you know, crafting the new stuff, and that's what we're doing right now. We're doing a little bit of Viper Watch. We're seeing exactly what he is up to as he plays the French, and of course, opens up with a double scout opening. On the other side, we've got our English player who has not gone for a double scout opening. Now, if you're playing English in quick search, one of the things that you will often find yourself doing is not going for a double scout, just because you don't need all those extra sheep, right? Well, you got to remember that not only are you taking those sheep for yourself, but you're also denying them from your enemy. And we take a look at Viper right now, and you can see on the first scout, he's got 5 sheep trailing him. On the second one, 3 sheep trailing him. So that's a fair amount of sheep, and considering that he's already got, you know, 5 dead under the town center, 4 dead under the town center, that's a lot of sheep, and you hear him picking up more. He actually missed one over there. And so if you open up with the second scout as the English, well, sure, you might not actually use those sheep, but guess what? Neither will your enemy. So it's one of those trade-offs. Some people do like to do a second scout, some people don't, but always important to be cognizant. You know, I think there's varying degrees on civilizations that you would want to do it against. Like, as an example, would you want to do it against the Delhi Sultanate? Probably. Would you want to do it against China? Definitely. Would you want to do it against Holy Roman Empire? Probably not. Rus? Probably not. I mean, actually, Rus, you would just want to go double scout anyway. You wouldn't really be after the sheep. You'd just be about killing stuff. That would be mainly it. But age up's going to be coming through now. We see all over for our English player. We've got the council hall going up. No surprises there in the front of the base. Leaves a nice little 2-tile gap if he wants to put farms in. He could look to go for like a mill on this side, a mill on that side, and farm down the middle. That is going to be an option for him, but he's just very, very slow. Very, very slow. So this is kind of weird because this is a hybrid of what we've been seeing a lot of. So no early wheelbarrow, no early farms, but still just taking it slow. And I do like that because every villager that you add to this landmark, it's going to have mitigating returns. So, as an example, your second villager is not going to do as much as your first villager. Your third villager not going to be doing as much as your second one. So, if you could just get this landmark starting up sooner, then technically you're going to be more efficient with your villager seconds. But obviously another consideration to make is going to be that wheelbarrow. And we can see that the wheelbarrow timing here for our English player, it's going to be a little bit delayed. Now we'll take a look over on the other side because Viper has just dropped down his landmark. He is a little bit different though. He's going to be rushing it up. 3 villagers going down for him. No mill just yet at this point. You can see it is he's got the berry patch close to his base, town center, second house being added in, and he's got double scout out, just scouting about, looking around the map. We'll do a bit of a sheep check. Yeah, you can see he's got 9 and 3 at the moment. So plenty of food underneath that town center. Nice and safe for him. And I'm curious to see how this matchup unfolds because obviously we've got our English player who's going a little bit slower. We've got the wheelbarrow coming through now, but take a look at this. We've got ourselves an early potential second town center coming out for the English. And I got to be honest, I do like this. I think this has got potential. Now, obviously, when it comes to the English, you know, King's Palace seems to be pretty standard. But one of the things that we haven't actually seen players do is go for like a 2 TC English build into the King's Palace. Into the White Castle or the White Tower. And I think that the White Tower is actually a pretty strong landmark because when you think about like the King's Palace, you're paying for what? You're paying for a town center, and it's half health town center, okay? But obviously it's the same as another town center. But it's still a landmark that you're losing health on, so it does make you a little bit more susceptible, even though it's very rare that is, when it comes to me weighing these things up, I'd be putting that right at the bottom of my list. But I guess the big thing for me is that you are trading it off with a potential keep that acts as a siege workshop. So one of the things that you're going to see players do in games is like you would look to put a keep down here on the sacred site in the center, and then you would drop a siege workshop behind it, then you would get a trebuchet out, and then you would start trebbing down the keep of your enemy who is down here, and then that is like that's where the action would come in. But obviously that's not going to be the case if you don't you don't do that. You're going to have to delay your keep in coming in. But look, I wouldn't be surprised if we do start to see a trend towards that. It makes a lot of sense. The only issue is that you're going to have to be pulling a lot of villagers. So you'd probably have to pull, 10 or 12 villagers to do that, because you think about it like going up against the French, it's going to be very different. We look at Viper right here, and it's just not going to be possible because Viper's already got knights out. He's going to have plenty of units out, so it's just not going to be a real option for him. But already over on the other side, we see that second town center going to be coming down now for our English player. He's got a nice little spot here at the back against the tree line. Also got the gold vein in. Not too worried about the deer. He won't be needing those. He's got all of his food underneath his town centers. But you can see Viper might be coming in with a pretty decent timing here. Viper going to get spotted out by that main town center, but Villagers going to get caught with their pants down, and now Viper, he is looking to make ends meet over towards the enemy base. Village is actually just going to keep tapping away at that town center. He's just committing them. But look at this. Viper actually just really committing right now and going to try and keep that Royal Knight alive. You can see the villagers teeing off. He manages to get it alive. Takes out 2 villagers. So already we've got a bit of a villager lead going over to Viper. Keep in mind he's obviously playing the French as well. So that's going to set him up even a little bit more. So 23 villagers at the moment compared to 26. Knight going to be running in. This is the second Knight, but he's managed to get that second town center up and back towards the base of Viper. We see this scout coming in. We'll take a look at the upgrades that Viper's got. He's got that wheelbarrow through. No professional scouts, not just yet. And we do see Chivalry going to be coming in behind this. So that's going to be his second upgrade. And look at this, a Viper already going for a second town center himself. So I do like this French play. I think this is so smart for the French. To go for a second town center as the French, I really feel like there's not a lot that can be done against it. And look at Viper moving out. Where is he going with this second town center? Have we got a bit of a forward second town center, or is he just going to be chopping some trees? What's he? I guess he's going right here and then going to be putting these guys onto the wood line. But this is so smart because obviously the English player has gone for the second town center. Viper scouts the stone. He knows exactly what is up, so he does that. But he's got the knights out. He's got the knights out. He's got the chivalry out. So the knights with the chivalry are going to be able to just continue cycling in, cycling out, and looking to take out villagers as they do. We've seen 2 villagers go down already, and so a great response coming out from him. And we also see double broadaxe, which is a signal to me that Viper is actually intent on staying in the second age. Normally you wouldn't see double broadaxe coming through unless someone was intent on staying in the second age, looking to fight it out in feudal, and that's what I suspect we're going to be having here. One of the other follow-ups that you do have against this would be a play that would be focused a little bit more on the economy and a little bit more on teching, and then you would see those upgrades coming through as the Castle Age timing came through as well. But yeah, we can see a whole bunch of upgrades coming through for Viper. Just going to be that double broadaxe that really gives it away. So I'll be expecting, double archery range to get dropped down any second now. Probably a blacksmith. We do also see horticulture coming in as well for him. We'll check back in with our English player, though, and we'll see exactly where he is up to. He's adding more farms in. It's almost like a preemptive mill that is going to get dropped down right here. You can see the way that he's placing it. Unfortunately, he does have to delete the lumber camp, so going to have to replace that over here, I'm assuming. Maybe over on this side. I guess he's got the town center to work from as well. But nice little spot. Obviously doesn't want to go behind the town center or anything like that. A little bit more susceptible to those knights. But he's still quite open towards the front. I guess the key difference here is he does have that wood line giving him a bit of cover. But we'll check. Oh my god, Viper's going triple town center. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. So it's going to be the triple town center is going to be the play here, and instead this guy is an absolute madman. He's going straight triple town center into a fast castle. So remember we were talking a little bit about those, about double broadaxe. The fact that he gets double broadaxe, he doesn't need the double broadaxe. So that's the thing. He's barely on wood at this point, but obviously the French, they get those cheaper upgrades. Viper just keeping tabs on his enemy up until this point, and you can see he's sitting in his base, not really doing too much. It's almost like the English player is working towards castles, so Viper just booming his absolute heart out right now. He is going pedal to the metal. He's collected exactly enough stone exactly to guarantee that second, or that third town center rather. And now we see quite literally every single upgrade. Viper is getting all the upgrades right now. He is going absolutely ham. We see specialized pick coming in. We see forestry coming in. Survival techniques just came in. We've got horticulture that's come in. Wheelbarrow, obviously. He's literally got everything. This is ultimate Viper French greed. This is incredible stuff. And now, this is what I love about it as well, right? It is about diversifying his income. So he's at the point here where he's got a deer. He's got 3 villages on it. He's got berries. He's got 4 villages on it. Yet still, he adds the farms. Because that's how confident he is with this. He's still got the sheep underneath the town center. He's still sitting here with 6 sheep. I'm going to just look to try and do a bit of damage over towards his enemy. We hear the call-outs coming through. Still those knights. Now, I'm going to be sitting up on full health. Thank you very much, Chivalry. So Viper going to be looking to re-up the scenario here, or re-up the situation. And we do see a third town center going to be coming down shortly now for our English player. Now, a few units going to be moving out as well. This could be dangerous. A little bit of an overextension, potentially. At the same time, he's got plenty of spears in here, so not going to be too much of a hassle. Oh, my lord, we're actually seeing it. This is the White Tower. Okay, it's actually happening. I like it. Wow. So, on one hand, I've been Aussie Rongo in saying, you know, Viper didn't need the double broadaxe, or if he did, he was going to stay age 2 with it. And then, on the other hand, I'm being like, well, you know, 2TC, White Tower, that should be a thing. Yeah, it's a thing. It's actually happening. 2TC White Tower. I can't believe we're literally seeing it right now. And it's happening against Viper. Viper goes for full greed. And the White Tower comes out with exactly 10 villagers here. Villagers from Viper going to get pulled here. He's sitting on 60 at the moment compared to the 49 of the English player. So quite a difference, but now he's going to be careful. You can see those spears looking to get in on the action. The villagers as well going to be looking to chop them down. It's quite a long age, or quite a long landmark that takes to build, and he's been very aggressive with it. My suggestion was a little bit further back here, and then look to trap in. And we can see how many units are going to get pulled here, and it looks like our English player are going to have to fall back. He's going to be trying to tee off towards these villagers. Realizes he may have overplayed his hand here. He's going to have to cancel the landmark. Viper pushes him away. Back towards Viper's position. You can see the amount of units he's got out. He realizes how urgent this is. He's got the 2 archery rangers. Also has the School of Cavalry just pumping out units non-stop. He knows how important it is to deny that landmark, and he does it. So Viper definitely under threat, but not out. Not out and not over. King's Palace, unfortunately, going to be coming back up over for our English player. So it wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. So it's going to be 3 town centers for both of these players now. Obviously, Viper took that third town center quite early. And not only did he take the third town center, but keep in mind he's playing the French, which is going to give him that huge advantage for villager creation time. So while our English player is going to be on 3 town centers, Viper, once he hits the castle age, which he's aging up to now, technically, he's going to be sitting at 3.6 town centers, just because of the fact that the villagers do train faster for the French. So we'll have to wait and see how Viper plays this, but I do like his position. The fact that he took that third town center earlier was a very smart move, and the fact that he also denied this White Tower from going up was very big. Now, the White Tower could have gone up probably a little bit safer. Maybe with a few more units coming out, maybe then it could have been something that had potential. But Viper obviously pulled a lot of villagers. Those villagers weren't intent on sieging. It was a difficult prospect to siege, but they were very, very good at dealing with the units there, because Viper doesn't mind if he loses 3, 4, 5 villagers. That's not a problem. All he needs to do is deny that landmark, and that's exactly what he did. We saw the cancel for the landmark, and we also saw the King's Palace come down, and that was all she wrote. So Viper definitely looking like he's ahead at the moment. He's sitting on 78 villagers compared to the 59 of his English opponent. So despite that early second town center coming up, obviously he lost a few villagers in the mix as well. Our English player did, but he is still struggling to keep up with Viper. That economy difference is really starting to play in. Now, keep in mind, Viper also has the triple town center greed, or not sorry, just the triple town center greed, but he's also got those upgrades that have come through. And interestingly, not going to be going for any tier 2 upgrades, just going to be looking to get his military upgrades from here. Scout got to be careful not to get picked off, and you can see the Scout just going to be spotting out all those units, sees the veteran longbowman. He knows that it's probably going to be an infantry mass coming out from his opponent, and Viper just going to be posturing, just going to be playing a light archer, Royal Knight composition, probably going to be looking to get out some Arbaletrier shortly as well, you would expect. We've been seeing a lot of French players going for this sort of Arbaletrier and and Knight combination, and it's difficult to deal with. And we hear behind the scenes Viper deleting a couple of lumber camps. Look at that. Almost like a bit of talismans coming out of him right now. I love to see it. I love to see it deleting the excess stuff. He doesn't need it, so, you know, there's no point in him keeping it. And he's going to continue adding in farms. He's looking great with regard to his food diversification, and we see he's still on berries, still on deer, still on farms, and the sheep are all gone right now. But now up towards the north, I apologize. We've got a bit of a battle beginning to unfold as the men-at-arms are going to be trying to clean up this mess. Unfortunately, it looks like the archer's going to be able to keep kiting away and just looking to pick out those spearmen. You can see they are effectively one-shotting them. Viper doing a great job of identifying the spears and picking them off. And now men-at-arms going to continue moving forward. The longbowmen going to be trying to focus down those archers on the backside. Unfortunately, not a lot of archers and a couple of villagers getting in on the mix as well. He's going to continue falling back, our English player, towards his production. But what kind of production does he actually have? He's got 2 barracks and a council hall. This is not enough production to support the economy you are on. You're on 68 villagers. That's 1 villager short of a nice amount. But now starting to fall down in that villager count. We can see more of them going down to the Knights. Viper doing a great job at this point, going for that full greed strategy, and then now going to be putting down the hurt, looking to put the pedal to the metal. And I love this timing. This timing is just such a smart timing going up against this English player. It really makes a lot of sense, but I can't help but feel like it might have been a little bit dangerous. What if our English player had gone 2 town centers into just mass units in the feudal age? That could have been a disaster for Viper. Now, he probably would have been able to hold it, but it could have been dangerous. It could have been dangerous. He obviously went 3 town center. We did see that he had the double archery ranges were out. He also had obviously the School of Cavalry. So it's always there as a backup plan for him in that second age. So if things don't go well after adding that 3rd town center, he can always make units. But it's one of those things. It feels a little bit like the Chinese, where if you've got so many villages being created, drawing on your food, it makes it really, really hard to support an army. But obviously, Viper did a great job of diversifying early. We've seen that repeatedly, or mentioned that repeatedly, and he's going to continue to do that. Now going to be looking for an Imperial age. So the question is, what kind of landmark does he go for? What does he consider the appropriate response? I would probably be thinking the Red Palace, somewhere out here in the middle of the map would be good. But by the same token, he's got so many villages, I wouldn't be surprised to actually see him do a forward Red Palace, and we now do see villagers moving forward. It is going to be, it was, no, don't do it, Viper. Don't make me Nostradamus, Strongadamus twice in a row. Jeez Louise, that was close. Red Palace going to be going down a lot safer than what his opponent looked to put it. You can see the difference between the two. We've got, you know, right next to an expansion versus about a screen away. And just remember, this Red Palace, it's going to be able to provide so much firing support. You're never going to be able to engage in this, underneath this, unless you've got trebuchets. Even bombards for the English will not be effective against it. They will die to the Red Palace. So you are going to need trebuchets. But keep in mind, that this is the English that you're dealing with, and the English love making some trebuchets, love getting some trebuchets out and doing some damage. And now Viper just going to be sitting, just going to be chilling. Red Palace going to be coming out. We actually see Gambeson's going to be coming in here. So looking to get those Arbitria upgrades. Also, you're going to have the potential of crossbow stirrups coming through from it. And I got to say, watching Viper play as the French makes me want to play as the French. Honestly, I watch him and I'm just like, I'm enthralled with how much control he's got. Just so much knowledge. He knows what to do in the matchup. He knows how to play it. It's immaculate stuff. And now those units going to be moving out. Viper got to be careful. So they go up for a bit of a kiss. Arbitria looking to impersonate a Springled right there. Doing a very effective job. Viper up to Imperial now, so we're going to be looking to see what kind of upgrades he goes for. It's going to be +3 ranged armor, and also going to be going for Military Academy, looking to reduce the training time on these stables towards the front. We don't see a lot of resources in the bank when it comes to gold, but now those Knights going to be moving out, looking to try and get a nice little connection here on the longbowmen. They're going to be pretty effective, but now going to be falling back towards that keep. That keep going to be able to provide great cover fire. And what kind of reaction do we see out of Viper? Look at that, a second keep going up in the base for him. Still got gold on the guild hall as well, 340, so probably has taken out a couple of loans so far. But we're going to see a siege workshop as the immediate reaction. And the question is whether it's going to be a bombard, or rather a cannon, or whether it is going to be a counterweight trebuchet. But I would suspect it's probably going to be a cannon. As you guys know, the French get a unique bombard, which is called the cannon. And indeed, there it comes. So Viper looking to use all of the unique French units, the Arbitria, the Royal Knight, and of course the cannon, all coming out in tandem. This is Viper's Royal Rumble right here. He's got all the royal stuff coming out. And plenty of stables coming down in this forward location. I love the way that he plays it. Honestly, it just looks so good. And then archery ranges at home. You can just see the way that he, like, obviously the base building, like he planned this. Trebuchet now going to be coming out for the English player here. Villager count at the moment, 133 for Viper. He is maxed out, and 88 for our English player. Now, when I say maxed out, obviously he can go up to 200 villagers if he wants to, but that's a pretty good guideline. If you can get to about 130 villagers, 135, 140 even, if you're in these like earlier stages of the game, then you're fine. You're absolutely a-okay. Bombard, or cannon rather, moving out, looking to do some damage. Going to be looking to try and take out that counterweight trebuchet. Going to be effectively taking it out as well. It does siege damage, so it's very capable, and that trebuchet is going to be going down. Now, what is the difference between the cannon and the bombard? I'm glad you asked. We'll quickly check. It is the most powerful siege cannon, excellent against buildings or any stubborn bonus targets, and it has bonus damage to buildings. Well, that doesn't really tell us what's unique about it, but I can tell you now that it doesn't have a setup animation. It is just going to be easy. You can just see right there, just bam, right-click, bam, dead. But now a couple of villagers going to be moving out, looking to move forward with the stone walls. But remember, we have got the new update that has just come through, and it means that our French units here, irrespective of that bombard, are actually going to be able to siege down these stone walls. So you can see the villagers working hard, trying their best to get these stone walls up. Well, guess what? The Royal Knights of the French will actually be able to siege these stone walls down, as long as they haven't been completed. That's going to be the key. They need to be complete, or they need to be incomplete. Incomplete. They need to be incomplete. They need to be a backstreet boy to be targetable. And so, some of these definitely are, but obviously he has no reason to do so at this point. He's just completely rampaging over his opponent right now. You can see our English player is trying his best to hold on to this position, but the Royal Knight's going to be running in with a bit of a rumble, and more men-at-arms going to be looking to come up. These guys have got their Chad armor out, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be enough. It's going to be really tough for our English player to hold on here, but you just got to really remark on Viper's incredible economic play here. It was absolutely beautiful. The way that he took one town center, made it 2, made it 3. He recognized what his opponent was doing, and he said, I am going to take you out. I'm going to take you to school. I'm going to teach you a thing or two, my friend. And that's exactly what he did. And now continuing to push up here. Arbitraire yet to get those upgrades. Let's take a look and see what Viper's got coming in. It's just going to be military units. He is pumping them out non-stop. Still sitting on 138 villagers. Keep going to be going down. And with that, Viper going to be victorious once again, fellas. Check out Golden League. It is happening this weekend. I want to see you guys there at 15 GMT on Saturday and Sunday. Be there or be square.